Today we'll be making Malaysian devil's chicken or chicken debal, a popular dish with the Portuguese settled people in Malacca. You may want to pause here for the ingredients and the preparation methods. So today we'll be making devil's chicken or chicken debal, which is a famous dish in Malacca in Malaysia. This is a dish that is cooked by the Portuguese settled people down in Malacca. So let's have a look at the ingredients. So we need spices and the chicken. For the spices, we'll need basically a medium to large size onion, which we will cut up and blend with about 1 centimeter of ginger, about 1.5 centimeters of turmeric, about 1.5 centimeters of galangal, 1 piece of lemongrass, 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, 5 or 6 pieces of candlenuts, and we'll need 1 potato, which we will cut into large cubes and go add to the chicken after it's been cooking, and a large tablespoon of mustard seeds, which we'll grind and roast and add it to the chicken after it's being cooked. We will need also 10 to 12 pieces of dried red chilies, which I have deseeded and soaked. We'll need a small sized chicken or half a large chicken that we have cut into pieces. We'll need some vegetable oil, salt and pepper to taste. Now what we'll do right now is to cut up all these spices that we'll cut and put into the blender to grind up so that we can fry and cook the chicken in. So let's get on cutting and blending. So now we've cut up the spices. We'll put all of this with the dried chilies, of course minus the potatoes and the mustard seeds. All of this are to be grinded and fried in vegetable oil until it's fragrant before we add the chicken. So I've got my blender ready. We will put the onions first in. Actually, let's just put everything in. To help with the grinding, we'll add some water. Alright, just grind this thing up. Silly me, I forgot to add the chilies. I'm just going to add the chilies back in. And so there we have it. We've got our paste ready. So let's start up the wok and start frying the spices. So we've got our pan ready. We'll turn up the fire and heat up the pan. When the pan is heated up, just turn on the fire a little bit more. We'll add about 3 or 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Now this is a dish which is rich, so we will be using a bit more oil. That's about probably 3 or 4 tablespoonfuls of oil. So once the oil is heated up, we will pour in our grinded spice mixture. Here we go. Give it a stir. Now we want to fry this until the oil separates from the spice and it becomes very fragrant. Now because we are frying this in a lot of oil, it will tend to splutter. So so just be careful when you are frying the spice mixture. Just continue to stir this occasionally so it doesn't burn at the bottom. So it's worth mentioning that it's a good idea to use a non-stick wok. Now it's also now that we want to pre-season it with a bit of salt. And some black pepper, just a little bit for the hint of black pepper, not too much. And we'll be cooking this for at least a few minutes until it becomes very fragrant and the oil is separated. So we've been frying this for a few minutes. As you can see, the spice mixture is becoming a bit dry. The color of the spice mixture really depends on how much of chilies that you put in. Some people like it really spicy, so they add in more chilies and it'll become like really red. In my case, I don't prefer it to be too spicy, so it's not as red as how some people might cook it. So we keep frying this until the oil separates from the spice. A few more minutes. As we continue to fry the spices, you can begin to see it's beginning to lump up as a ball. And that means the oil is beginning to get separated from the spice mixture. So we'll continue to fry until we see the oil come out from the spice mixture. That will make it really fragrant. Well, now that it's been frying for a few more minutes, you can see that the oil starts coming out, and the spice got a little much darker. So now it's time to add the chicken. So this is like half a large chicken or a small chicken. I'm just going to add it in. Now that we've added the chicken, so we just have to stir this and mix the spice mixture with the chicken as much as we can. So we'll cook this for a few minutes and come back. If you find the chicken is a little bit dry, we'll add like just a little splash of water. It'll be sufficient. We don't want to make like a gravy of this. It should be semi-dry. And on and off, when it gets a bit too dry, we can add just a little splash of water. And we'll continue cooking this. It's also a good time to throw in our potatoes. We're just going to use one potato for today. We're just going to mix this. Okay, we'll continue to cook this for maybe 10-15 minutes. And occasionally stir this and watch the water if it becomes too dry. So our chicken has been cooking for a few minutes, and you can see the chicken started to release its own juices. We'll just continue to let it cook and occasionally stir this so it doesn't get burned at the bottom. We just also need to make sure that the potatoes are soft as we cook this. As you can see, now the color actually becomes a little much redder. How a devil chicken should look like. Of course, that depends on how much chili you put in. We will let it cook for a few more minutes and come back and look at it. So our chicken has been cooking for extra 5 minutes. Now we do need to just make sure we have the correct seasoning. I'm adding more salt. And I am going to add in a pinch of sugar as well. Just a tiny pinch. We don't want it to be sweet, but it helps to bring out the flavors. Now at the same time, I've began roasting of the mustard seeds. What we'll do is after we've roasted the mustard seeds, we'll grind the mustard seeds and add it to the chicken. So you can see we've ground up our mustard seeds. We'll add this to the chicken after it's been cooked for a few more minutes. So our chicken is almost done when you see the oil separating from the gravy. Now at this point of time, what we want to do is to add in our pounded roasted mustard seeds. You'll probably need 1 tablespoon of this just to give it that extra kick. So I'm not adding all of it. 1 tablespoon of that spice would be enough. So we're just going to like stir this. Okay, for a little while, and then we can turn off the heat. We'll let the chicken rest for about 15 minutes before we serve it, so that the fluid or the moisture in the chicken can redistribute. And well, there we have it. We'll plate it up in a bit. So there we have it, devil's chicken. If you prefer more gravy, you can add just a little bit more water into the recipe, and that will give you more gravy. Traditionally, this is eaten with steamed white rice. I hope you can try this recipe. Enjoy.